Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today we're going to be talking about my goals. My reading goals, my Instagram goals, my YouTube goals for the year of 2020. So if you're interested in that, stick around. We'll talk about it. So I do have my goals written on my phone. I'm going to be looking at my phone just for clarification for where I want this video to go, because I do have some major goals and some minor goals that I want to try to accomplish this year. I usually don't set goals for myself because I never stick with them, because goals make me nervous. They give me really bad anxiety. They just, I don't know. I'm just all over the place half the time. The only time that I'm ever like really planned out is at work, and that's pretty much it. My normal life is never planned, and I usually cancel plans if I have them. I'm one of those persons, one of those people, and people get really irritated with me. But anyways, okay. So my first goal I set was on Goodreads, and that was my Goodreads goal of the year, which is 100 books. Last year it was 75, and I ended up reading 147. So I believe that I can accomplish 100, especially since I am a teacher and I do have off in the summers. That's where I usually get the majority of my reading completed anyways, because I'm not doing anything, because I don't go anywhere. And then this previous year, of course, COVID hit and we couldn't go anywhere, so I did read a lot. But normally during the summer times I do read that's where I find where I have read most of my books for that year. And another thing is staying on top of my reading. I find myself getting into reading slumps a lot, but that's because I read something over and over and over again. Like, I read a lot of romance at the same time, then I switch to thrillers, then I switch to horror, and then this previous year I read a lot of fantasy, and I did find myself kind of, after I read a big fantasy book, or reading fantasy in general, I found myself in reading slumps, and then I had to go back and read things that I've read previously that I know that I have enjoyed, or I picked up something that I knew that I would enjoy. But I really want to read things that I know that I'm going to enjoy this year, and not just read them because people are trying to push it on you, you know? I don't know. There's a fine line between that. I want to get out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying to still find that niche within fantasy that I really enjoy. And I did find this previous year in 2020, that I did like a lot of paranormal fantasy, but I'm still working on that urban fantasy and the high fantasy. High fantasy, I was just like, it's not my cup of tea. But I'm still trying to find something within high fantasy that I like. Another goal that I want to achieve is getting involved in the reading community on YouTube, plus on Instagram. I've never been that great at reaching out to people and wanting to collaborate with people, because I find myself, like I said, I'm a very anxious person and I worry constantly, and I don't want to get in a routine of where I'm constantly like, hey, how are you, you know, and then like constantly talking, because I feel like I'm gonna annoy people, and I feel like I'm gonna be a bother to people, and I know that's not the case, and I know that that's just my brain, like, because I've had people in the past like, hey, would you like to join this book club? We're looking for people that enjoy romance, or hey, we're looking for people that enjoy horror, or hey, we're looking for people that want to explore more into fantasy. Would you like to join? And I'll sit there and I'll think about it, and I'll be like, well, I have all this stuff, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and then I never open myself up to being new to a group. And I want to expand that, and I want to get more involved and not be so, and how do I put this, where I don't like talk super bad about myself. but it's an issue that I find even at work, and I find even like in my outside world, not at work or not on YouTube or not on Instagram, but it's just one of those things where I don't want to annoy people, because in the past people say that, or when I was younger people did say that I was annoying, and I think that kind of just like triggered me not to constantly, or not constantly, but this is so hard to explain. Because and this is another thing too, I have a really hard time conveying what I want to say, because it sounds right in my head, but then when people are like, what are you even talking about? Like, what are you trying to say? But I just don't want to be a burden on anybody, because I know everybody has something going on, but I know that I also need to reach out to people and try to collaborate with people and not feel bad about when I don't reach a specific goal. That's another reason why I don't like setting goals for myself, because then I'm like, well, I didn't reach that goal because I'm just a there's a lot of things going on in my brain that people don't know about. But yeah, so major anxiety, scared to reach out to people, don't want to be a burden. That's the whole thing. But yeah, okay. So staying on top of my videos is another thing. I found myself slipping this year because my mental state was just not all there, and I did kind of pull back a lot from my YouTube and my Instagram, because I was being very consistent with doing like 2 to 3 videos a week, but that's unrealistic when I'm actually having to work as well, because if you don't know, I have a toddler, I have a 2-year-old, I have a husband, I'm a teacher, I have family, so putting 2 to 3 videos with my lifestyle right now is not as accessible as I want it to be. During the summer I'll probably post a lot more, but as of right now, 1, maybe 2 videos a week is what I am planning on doing, like consistently planning on doing. And then just another thing that I really want to work on is editing my videos a lot better, because I watch people's videos and they have like little that kind of stuff, and I still don't know how to use my editing program a lot, because I did have some issues with my old editing program, and then I was trying different ones, but the one that I have now, I finally like understand just the basics, and I really want to get more into trying to edit my videos to where they're more appealing, and to where I'm just not sitting here talking to you and like I have sound effects, and I have like I said, like little like movements and all that kind of stuff, you know. I really just want to learn how to edit my videos better and make them more appealing to watch. And then my last like really big goal that I want to reach is to try to reach 1,000 followers on Instagram and also 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that is gonna have to make, or that goal right there is gonna be my like driving force to reach out to people, because I know that's how I'm gonna grow. And it's not like I want to make money or anything like that, but you know, when you're doing this, you would like to grow. This isn't about money, this is about community to me, and talking about books to people, and even that on Instagram too. I have enjoyed the people that I have met, and I have met some really good people and really cool people and people that think like me, and it's just been really fun. And that's one of the things that I would like to do, is have more followers so I can talk to more people about books. Going back, so some of the smaller goals that I have set for myself with my reading for every month is the following. Of course, I would like to read more people that aren't like me, diverse reads, people of color, which I feel like I've always read a pretty wide variety of authors, but I want to make it more of where I just like, oh, this looks like a great book, let me pick it up. I would like to be more conscious about who I pick up and why I pick that book up, not just because it has a pretty cover, because I'm a big cover buyer, and I need to be more conscious about who I'm reading and why I'm reading them. Then another goal that I have for myself is to read, of course, more fantasy. I would like to try to read one fantasy book a month, but I'm not going to get upset with myself if I don't. And then I also want to read nonfiction a lot more. I like to read memoirs and biographies because I'm nosy. So I think those are the type of nonfiction books that I'm really going to stick with. Or, you know, like research-based books like this one. This is just about history of romance itself, like romance novels. Anything like that that can actually teach me something, or that I am continuing to be a lifelong learner. Then historical romance. If you haven't known, or if you haven't been watching my videos, my historical romance shelf has blown up, and I really need to read these books that I have picked up. And the last thing that I would like to try to do is read more classic books. Now, I've read a lot of the major classics, but I'm talking about the classics that people don't really talk about because of issues that they have. One book that comes to mind is The Count of Monte Cristo. That's been on my list to read for a really long time. Rebecca, where's that book? It's in a pile. Rebecca is one of those that I would like to read. I just want to read more classic books because, whatever, you know, just a little goal thing right there. But I would like to read classic books that people don't really talk about and you don't have to read in school, because that's all I read in school was classics. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't read them now, is because I had to read them. Like, I was forced to read classics in school. But anyways, okay, so those are my goals. I do have a lot of videos planned for this year. I'm in the middle of 2 videos right now that I have planned. One is about historical romance. The other one is about these books right here. And I'm in the middle of those. So I would like to make videos that are prolonged throughout the year. I would also like to make sure that I stay on top of recommendation videos, because I know people like recommendation videos. So if you want to see a specific recommendation video about thrillers, about romance, you know, those are the majority of books that I read on my channel anyways. Please leave your recommendations, or what books you want me to recommend, down below. If you're not following me on Instagram, I do post a lot of questions on Instagram, and I do post a lot of things that I'm reading on Instagram. Another goal that I would like to achieve this year is to make sure that I film my wrap-ups, because I was doing really well and then I just kind of at the end of the year, and I need to finish my wrap-ups because I want to give you my thoughts on my books that I read. But yeah, so those are my goals. Thank you for sticking around. If you hadn't hit that subscribe button yet, please make sure you do that before you leave. Again, let me know what videos you would like to see from me this year. Let me know what recommendation videos you want me to do for you. Just let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you for listening to me ramble, but see you later.